This video is for the man who's been letting himself down for so long now. Look, right now you're just embodying a version of you that you know it's not you. It's not how you're supposed to feel. It's not how you're supposed to look. And what happened is, during all of these recent years, all the recent months, yes, you might have acquired everything that you dream of. You build a business, you're having your dream job, maybe you found your dream partner, starting a family, having the lifestyle, you're making the money that you want. But yet inside of you, there's a disconnection. You feel there's a gap between who you are now and who you know you're supposed to be. You know you're capable of doing it. And most likely, you already done it in the past. In the past, before you had all of these responsibilities, you were in good shape. But eventually, maybe it's comfort, maybe it's stress, maybe it's pressure. You start sleeping on your habits. You slowly let yourself down. You gain the weight. And now you're not feeling and looking the way you want. You wake up every morning, you don't feeling as sharp as you used to be in the past. You don't feeling confident. You don't look in the mirror and tell yourself, damn, I'm the fucking man. I'm proud of me. And that's where the gap is. You can achieve anything that you want in this life externally, but if you keep neglecting the one thing that you know for a fact makes you feel like a fucking savage and proud of you, and that thing is your body, it's yourself. You cannot keep neglecting the work on yourself, because that's gonna lead to a very unfulfilling life. And as men, to be fulfilled, we need growth. We need constant work on ourselves, on our mindset, on our physique. Right? There's only two options. You even go up or you even go down. I don't believe there's in between. I don't believe in that fucking gray zone. So you have to choose your path. And right now, you've been going on the wrong direction. You've been going down. And that's where that disconnection is coming from. That's where the gap is. But the truth is, you can change that. If you've done it in the past, if you've been in shape in the past, yes, it might require a new way of doing things right now because your lifestyle is different. You're older right now. You have different things going on in your life. Yes, we might need a new strategy, but there's a part of you that you know you're capable for more. We just need to reignite it. And that's what this video is about. Make you feel a savage again. Unlock savage modes. And this time, I want to keep it for life. I want you to wake up every morning feeling excited, feeling proud of you, feeling sharp, feeling lean, feeling confident. I want you to carry yourself differently with the people you love, at your job, in the street. I want you to be the man who's fucking respected again. Everything starts from the moment you respect yourself. Everything that's going on around you, it's a reflection of what's going on inside of you. I strongly believe in that. If you feel like you don't have a deep sense of self-respect, no one's gonna respect you in return. It's how you feel about yourself. That's how people will perceive you. That's what they feel about you. So you understand that everything has to start with you, right? Not from the outside, within you, your mindset, your physique. Your soul knows the answer. Your soul knows that you are meant for more. You know it, right? You've just been neglecting the work on yourself. So, how to unlock savage mode again? And the way I've made this video today is, I read the book a few months ago. It's called The 4 Agreements. And basically, 4 agreements is, you have 4 agreements, of course. I'm not going to refer to them in this video. I just said what I'm doing in this video is I just got inspired by this book because I like the concept of having code of conduct. And that's what this book is about. It's a way to conduct yourself so you can experience more peace, more love, and more freedom, right? So, based on what I've read and my experience, my way of doing things, I ask myself, well, how you should be conducting yourself on a day-to-day basis for you, to feel like a fucking savage. And also, I do believe you're going to be experiencing more love, because if you treat yourself the right way, it's the ultimate form of self-love. right? And you're gonna feel it. Once you love yourself, like, you cannot fake that feeling, right? It's very profound. And that's what life is about. That is true fulfillment. It's having that sense of pride every morning. It's having that sense of self-love, of confidence. And it starts with you. It starts by upgrading your mindset, your physique. I genuinely believe that everything in life it's all about your mindset and your habits. If here it's right, and if you do the right things daily, like naturally you're gonna feel better, right? That's not rocket science. And this is what the 4 agreements of being a savage is about, right? Remember, I just made them up from my own experience, and also, I still apply them in a certain way in my life. Same for the guys who join the program. And that's where accountability is very powerful. Hold them accountable to a very high standards, okay? And I'm gonna just get started with this video. The first agreement we're referring to is to not break promises. Think about right now, there's 2 versions of you. There's your higher self and there's your lower self. And right now, just to be straight, you're embodying the lower self version of you. And every actions that you take, any decision that you make, it's either aligned with your higher self or your lower self. Okay? When you break a promise, it's like you investing in your lower self. And when you keep your promises, investing in your higher self. It's that fucking simple, right? It's that easy. So, every day, I want you to start following a set of non-negotiable habits. There's a reason it's called non-negotiable habits. You're not supposed to fucking negotiate with them. Because I've seen what happens when people stop taking that seriously. Because it's so easy to be true. Sometimes they might seem irrelevant. But you know what? If you start forgetting one habit every day, one day, the next day you forget it, and then after it's 2 habits, that's how the decline starts. It's like rust on the metal. It starts very small. And if you don't address it at first, it just expand. Next thing you see, the metal is all rusty. This is why following a set of non-negotiable habits, it's key. It's a way to hold you accountable. You told yourself you want to step into the higher self. Well, do not break your promises, right? Because every time you do it, again, you're investing in your lower self. This is why, in my program, even myself, I always start my day of a morning routine. I strongly believe that the way you start your day is going to impact how your day is going to unfold. And I've made several videos about morning routine, how to set up your morning routine for success, right? You can go and watch them. But this is not the point of breaking down an entire morning routine, but just giving you some insights. Part of it is to wake up early. Do some push-ups. It might not be fun. It will never be fun, but guess what? This is how you build mindset. And actually, to build mindset, I will even add on that, you need to be doing things that fucking sucks. You need to be doing things that is hard. Because it's gonna start changing your perception about that habit. Okay, so we start today with a morning routine. And we're gonna have different habits that we need to follow. One of them will be tracking your diet. Tracking your diet, guys, and this is not just for you to make sure that you're hitting your protein, your carbs, and your fat intake. Yes, we do want to be precise with our nutrition, but trust me, that habit is more powerful than just, make sure that we eating the right food daily. It's what it does to your mind, actually. You know, that habit that's fucking boring and most people neglect it sometimes. They're like, I don't want to do it, it's fucking boring. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up, you're just lazy. Tracking your diet, it shows like how seriously you are about yourself. Like, think about your business. You have different KPIs that you track, maybe on a weekly basis. If your client calls, you know, I don't know what type of business, but there's definitely KPIs that you track. That's your KPI. Why you will not track it, right? You say you want to grow, you want your business to grow, you track your KPIs for the reason. You want to grow, right? You need to fucking track your KPIs. There is diet, make sure that you hit your protein, fat, and carbs. And there's more. Those are like steps. Anything that is below 8,000 steps a day, it's not acceptable, guys. Right? My average is probably, 1,500. And you don't really need that. 10,000. You can even go like, 12,000. Like, there's guys that are like, bro, I enjoy walking after all, and I just want to be walking more. It just like benefits for your health. You're getting sunlight, you're burning more fat. That's a very high leverage habit here. And some people, they're like, bro, like, I work, I have family. It's like, at the end of the day, it's all fucking excuse, bro. Okay, ask yourself, if you want to stop feeling like shit, you want to feel like, at your best, what needs to be done every day for you to hit your step goal? You have to wake up early? Maybe yes. You have to move things around? Maybe yes. I don't know. I cannot tell you right now because, I don't know exactly your life. That's why people have coach, right? For me to help them design a lifestyle that is sustainable. But you know what? Anyone can make it happen. It's all about just playing with your schedule and your time. But hitting your step is non-negotiable. Guys, following a morning routine, the same morning routine every day, it's probably the best thing that can happen for you, right? Because what's gonna do for your energy and for your mind, I mean, it's just gonna bleed in everything else during the day, especially at work. And also how you're gonna regulate your mood, your emotions. You're gonna be making better decisions, right? And with better decisions come better results. Life is simple if you think this way, right? So don't break your promise. You follow the same morning routine. You track your diet. You hit your steps. And we move on to agreement number 2. Train like psycho. You want to feel savage? Start with your workouts. Like, I want you to unleash the animal that's within you when you work out. Like, that's the mode I'm in when I lift weights. Even on my cardio, right? It's not Ibrahim as I am right now who's showing up during the weights. It's Ibrahim, a fucking psycho. It's like a video game. I choose the avatar I want to play with. Right? When I enter my workout, like, trust me, I'm a different guy. You don't want to come and talk to me like I'm your friend. I'm so locked in my zone. Right? There's savage mode that's unlocked. And the way you're gonna do it, first of all, is, no bitchy lifting. No bitch lift. I will even add no ego. No bitch lift, what I mean is, guys, like, stop showing up during your workout and stop seeing your workout as a box that needs to be checked, right? Yes, showing up is important, right? But we work out for a reason. We work out to build muscle. And to build muscle, we need to do things in a certain way. For example, we need to fucking push hard, right? Remember, the whole point of working out is to build muscle. And how you build muscle? Well, you have to break down the muscle fibers. Only what's gonna happen is when you push hard, right? So you cannot be lifting like a bitch. And also, don't lift with ego. People always say, yeah, but when we lift with ego, it's a form of lifting hard. True, but with ego, your form is completely off, right? You're not even hitting the right rep range because it's so heavy and you can go just 3 reps at max. And it's basically for your ego. So there is no muscle growth advantage you lifting ego. In fact, the only thing that you're gonna get in return is injury and waste time, right? If you live like a bitch and you live with your ego, just stay home next time, okay? This is not why we work out. We want to train hard, but we want to train smart. And part of it is, when I say train hard, what I refer to is going to real failure, right? What I mean by failure is, if your workout says, like, basically we're gonna be hitting between 6 to 12 reps for the bigger muscle group. Maybe, like, things like arm, we can go 10, 15. It depends on the workout plan, the way I structure it. But let's say if your plan says 8 to 10 reps for like a bench press, well, physically speaking, you cannot do more than 10. Doing more than 10 is literally impossible because you've hit failure. That's the whole point of failure. Okay? So for that, you need to be intentional with the way you select. That's how we make the program. During the first phase of the program, we calibrate the weight. I call it calibration phase. We want to see what is your failure baseline at first, and then we build up on that. So going to real failure is essential, right? And we also need to ensure that the form is clean. We're lifting with intention. We're going full range of motion, right? That's how we're going to effectively be building muscle, right? Remember, the whole point of working out is you to build muscle. And for that, there are specificities that we need to follow, okay? And also, last part is progressive overload. Progressive overload, what I'm referring to is, yes, every workout, every set actually need to go to failure. But every week what's going to happen is, when you work out, you break down the muscle fibers and you repair them with proper recovery and nutrition, right? This is a cycle. It works together. So let's say, first weeks, you're working on your biceps, you train them properly, you recover, you fuel yourself properly. Well, your muscle is going to grow. And because the muscle is bigger, well, the stimulation that we give it during the first week is not the same that we can be carrying on with. We need more stimulation because the muscle adapts. If it gets bigger, we need more stimulation. So we do it by adding more weight or more reps. This is why one part of training is tracking your lifts. You need to be tracking your lift. If you don't track, you guess. It's like your diet, it's your KPI. We need to make sure that every week you're making progress. Okay? How are we gonna know if you're making progress is if we have datas. That's why tracking your lift is important, right? When you're gonna start lifting with intention, following a proper plan, training to failure, applying progressive overload, that's how your physique will change. There's no other way. And yes, you need to eat and follow the right habits. But that's how your physique changes. That's how you lose the fat. That's how you build the muscle, you get leaner, and you start looking like a savage, right? So, agreement 2, train like a psycho, don't train like a fucking bitch, push to failure, and make sure you track your lift to make sure that every week that you are progressing. Agreement number 3, one of my favorites, is the no victim mindset. Everyone who thinks like a victim can never be a savage. Again, remember when I say, you always have two ways in this life. That's how I see things. Either think like a savage or you think like a victim. There is no in between, guys. Okay, so choose your mindset. Now ask yourself, what to not do to be a victim? Okay, what victim they do? First of all, they fucking complains all the time. That's what I say. Like, the first rule: stop complaining. Guys, I cannot stand people who keep complaining that life is hard, like, this thing happen, there's too much shit going in love, there's wait for the perfect time. It's like, bro, there's no fucking perfect time. The perfect time is right now, right? Like, if you feel like shit, bro, isn't that a great time for you right now to stop feeling like shit, right? What you waiting for, man? Stop complaining like, yeah, there is too much on your plate, there's family, This is life, bro, right? Like, what the fuck do you expect? That everything has to be like easy, like walking in a park? sorry to disappoint you, but if that's what you're looking for, man, like, fuck off. Just man the fuck up. Sorry. And stop complaining, right? Understand that whatever you're facing in life, it's there for a reason. People get stopped whenever, like, they confront to some obstacles or challenges. But it's like, guys, like, it's meant to be there. Think about, like, an athlete. The reason they keep performing at their best is because they have competition. If there was no competition, there was no challenges, well, why the fuck they will step up? There's no reason, right? You only grow in adversity, not when things are easy. So in your life, for you to fucking step up, you need adversity, right? Understand that. I want to write down. You need to embrace adversity. Whenever you're confronting to something that is challenging, right? That you like, it's okay, like now we need to fucking step up. It's a great thing because there is adversity. And whenever there is adversity, there is growth. So start embracing the challenges and stop complaining, right? For God's sake. Can't stand those people. Oops. Sorry, not writing that this way. Okay, so now what we have here is failure equal lessons. If you train your mind, if you train yourself to switch your perspective and start seeing failure as lessons, you're gonna fucking grow, bro. You're gonna gain that wisdom. Because growth is also about wisdom, guys. Like, not everything that you will undertake, you will succeed, like, at first, right? You have to fail, like, sometimes. This is just part of the game. Think about when you play video games. You don't just play level 1 and win it, and then level 2 you win it. No. At some point, you're losing, right? You get killed. I don't care. But doesn't mean that because you fail, you suck at the game. Doesn't mean that you're a failure. You're only a failure if you're like, oh fuck, this is too hard, like, I give up. The moment you give up, you failure, man. Like, you're out. But if you start seeing the failure has lessons, and you start thinking, well, what can I learn about myself? What can I do better next time? It's gonna force you to grow. It's gonna help you approach the same situation in the future with another perspective, with a new mindset, with a new angle, right? So growth, like, is going to take time. It's gonna take, like, some failure, you hitting, like, some blocks, learning about yourself, reshaping your strategy, and moving on, right? You go from level 1, level 2, level 3, and, the good thing about this game of life is there's infinite levels. The more you grow, like, the bigger the obstacles, actually. So if you're not aware of that, like, I just wanted to give you, like, an update, right? Don't expect things to be easy. Expect to fail, but shift your perspective that failure equals lessons, right? The victim, again, will always complain that, oh no, things are too hard, like, it's not for me. Those people will stay victim and just be, how they call them, victim of circumstances, right? So don't be this guy, because the winners, the savage, they have this trait that's called resilience. You need to be resilient, guys, because every time you're gonna fall down, have to move up and keep going back. Think about, like, an athlete again. Always on it, bro. Always on it. Always working out. Always pushing the limits, right? It's gonna take mental strength. It's gonna take physical strength, right? But how serious you are about your goal, how serious you are about becoming your higher self, and regain that confidence that you lost, that respect that you lost. You need those traits, man. You need to think differently, right? So no victim mindset. Stop fucking complaining all the time. Start seeing your failure as lessons and build resilience, man, right? Okay? That's gonna take you very far. You're gonna start lifting mountains the moment you're resilient. And the last part is to upgrade your environment. I strongly believe that your environment can either lift you up or drag you down. Again, there's only two scenarios. You see how I like to make things simple, right? Environment either lift you up or drag you down. And environment is not only your physical surrounding. It starts at first with, people. What are the people you surround yourself with? People. There's this old saying that you become the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. Or if right now you're not in good shape, if right now your friends, let's say your close mates, they're not in good shape, they look like shit, and you're not in good shape and you feel like shit, you're basically looking like your mates. Is it a coincidence? No, bro. There's a reason, right? Their energy, their belief, their mindset becomes over time your beliefs and your mindset. So eventually, the result they get is the result that you get, right? You need to upgrade. You need to change the people you surround yourself with. So proximity is everything. Checking your surrounding, who's fit and you can spend more time with. And sometimes, I get it, it might be hard to find someone in your surrounding because everyone has low fucking standard today. So what is your option? It's to join either a community online, get a coach, get a mentor. It's so powerful to have a coach and a mentor because, again, it's all about transfer of energy and belief and mindset. If you work with a coach, you're going to get his mindset, his way of thinking, his way of doing things. And if you adopt them, you're going to get the same result like your coach. This is why proximity is so powerful, right? So change the people you surround yourself with. And I don't care if they're your old mates from school or close family members. If no one is willing to step up with you, you tell them to fuck off. After people, we have places you hang out. I will also add to live, right? That's your physical proximity. Check your place. Is your place designed in the way to elevate you, right? Are you still bringing fucking cookies and junk food at home? If the answer is yes, bro, start with not bringing the thing that it's not beneficial for you. If you still have Netflix activated all the time, you have some fucking video games all over the place, and it's easy for you to just come up, turn on the TV, lay down on the couch. Bro, you need to redesign your living room, your bedroom, your house, if you have to, because you want to eliminate as much cues as possible. If there is a cue that trigger a negative habit or a negative action, just eliminate them, right? It's very easy to just sit down, look at the kitchen counter and see some fucking cookies and just go and reach out to them. Well, if you don't get the cookies at home, you're not gonna reach out to them, right? It's very easy. Same if you have Netflix all the time. I have nothing against you watching Netflix once in a while, let's say with your partner, your girlfriend, or whoever. But if that's a habit and you spend 2 hours per night watching Netflix and you lay down at the same time you eat junk food, now we have a fucking problem. Okay? So, redesign the place you're living and also the places you hang out. It's if you're still going to the clubs and the bars, it's is it aligned with who you want to become? And most likely the people you surround yourself with will drag you to places you don't even want to be in those places, right? And also, talking about places you hang out, I'm a strong advocate for investing in premium gyms. People are yeah, it's expensive and this and that. It's bro, stop me this broke mindset. Think investments. Who's gonna go to gym who are expensive? People who take themselves seriously, themselves and their health, and people they have money. So that's great for networking. All of the gyms where I pay a premium price, I just met amazing people. And now they're still part of my network. And that just brings me so much value till to this day, right? Don't underestimate how powerful it is to go to an expensive gym. Because the network you're gonna build, that's going to determine your net worth. Like they say network is net worth, right? And that's very true. And the last way to upgrade your environment is the information that you are consuming, right? You want to only absorb positive information. That's why I want you to fucking get rid of the doom scrolling, the news, the media, um, even like certain type of music right now, and just start your day with something positive, maybe a podcast, a book, watch something that is inspiration, motivation, right? Don't have this like fucking news about what's happening with the economy, the politics. It's like, bro, it's all negative information, right? And if you absorb too much negative information, well, you're gonna start having negative thoughts that is going to lead to negative decisions. It's going to lead to bad results. It's all a loop, right? Understand those triggers and start being mindful of what you consume, right? That's why when I wake up, I don't fucking watch my phone. I'm gonna read something positive, audiobook, podcast on my walk. Then eventually I start opening my phone to reply my clients, leads I might have on social media, and yeah, just attack the day. But what you consume, bro, promise you, is gonna affect your mindset in a positive or negative way. So choose positive information. And that's how we cover the 4 agreements of becoming a fucking savage. Don't break your promises, train like a psycho, teach the victim mindset and upgrade your environments, right? If you follow this code of conduct, as I like to call it, it's gonna completely change your mindset and your physique. In fact, I still live by those rules, and all of my clients, they follow a similar protocol every single day. And all of them, they experience the same benefits. Like what I can promise you is if you do the work, you get the result, like nothing else. If you do half of the work, you might not even get half of the result. You get nothing, right? So we need to be on top of the game when it comes to putting in the work and do whatever it requires. Yes, it will take some sacrifices. It will take some work. Long-term commitment, right? But again, this is you. This is about you. You're building you, your confidence, your self-esteem, your self-love. You are your best asset. When people show you with a nice physique, they feel the energy, they feel the aura, right? You're gonna have more respect, you're gonna feel more love, and life is gonna just feel better, bro. Like, would just don't wanna have a better life. Better health, better life, it all goes together. And it starts with how you program your mindset and what daily habits you decide to follow. I strongly believe that you can change everything by changing your mindset and your habits and your routine, right? Anything else is noise. I like to keep things simple, bro. Provide a simple protocol to follow, and that's it. You do the work. I'm here to hold you accountable, and just keep in mind, if you're interested to working one-on-one with me, again, reignite the savage that's within you. Click the link in the description of the video. You apply for coaching, and I just reach out to you to see if you're a good fit. In the meantime, I hope you find this video valuable. Thanks for watching, and I see you on the next one.